Hey, aloha. Good morning. Welcome to the office hours. Brought to you by Peter KNF Foundation and reviewing Master Cho's wizardry, mastery, all those good things out there. Doing what it takes to bring life to this world, wisdom, mastery, all these good things. So thanks for being here. We got an hour. You can ask anything, and then I got a few things to share, so we'll get into that. Sup, Christoph? Good to see you, man. I'm glad we're just going over our membership stuff. We just had a Pure KNF board meeting yesterday, so thankful for all our members. Cecily, what's up? And Robert G. Mendocino in the house. Yo, I got a Humboldt hat on. No, it ain't exactly the same, but you know, always enjoy going on the Aloha tour out there, even though it's a lot of work, but always fun to meet people, cruise around, see what's going on, spreading the good word. Yeah, if you're in Mendocino, should check out the Fry family, Tyler, Felicia, those guys. They're doing some good work there in I think it's the Grass Valley, Antelope Valley, one of those valleys. So today it's Pi. Pi is grace, inside the strength of simplicity and self-knowledge, outside the beauty of acceptance and gentleness. This hexagram encourages you to cultivate grace in your relationships and in your general way of being. In this way, you gain a power greater than any other to open a way through obstructions in your dealings with others. Good fortune is yours if you concentrate on bringing more grace and thoughts to your actions now. It is in human nature to want to use forceful ways to try to get what we want from others and from life. Our egos encourage us to act aggressively, to speak boldly, to intimidate others, to buffalo our way through difficult situations. This false power can be momentarily satisfying to our ego, and temporary victories can be won in this way. But genuine power and lasting progress come from a different strength altogether. They come from inner strength, which is characterized by steadfast devotion to the principles of humility, simplicity, equanimity, and acceptance. By gradually letting go of the vain bullying energy of the ego and accepting the quiet guidance of the higher power, one acquires the substance that makes ongoing good fortune a possibility. This is a time to relinquish self-important maneuvering. Instead, return to stillness and contemplate the inherent wisdom of the principles of the sage. By practicing quiet strength within and gentle acceptance without, you acquire a grace that dissolves all barriers to progress. Well, isn't that nice? Yeah. Well, what's up? We got Stone Mason in the house. Yo, Indiana. Got it right this time. I know it. Had to put that in the brain and screw it down tight. Make sure I didn't forget. Yeah, so yeah. It's always nice when you get a good reading. You know, sometimes life is in your favor, other times it is absolutely not. But that's just the life. Cheers, drink some milk with y'all. Yeah. Oh. Oh, milk a cow every day. It's definitely worth it. Some A2 brown Guernsey cow there, getting the goods. So Sal, my Brazilian esteemed colleague, asked for some farm updates. So this little SD card coming out of this little Mavic Mini here. It's actually not a Mavic Mini. It's a Mavic Pro. What is it? Is it a Mavic Pro? I think it's just a Mavic, to be honest. This Mavic, DJI Mavic. So we'll put this in here. Hopefully it doesn't short out. Put that in there, and we'll get to some farm updates here and see what's going on. Oh, and meantime, you know, also want to let you know that if you go to knfsupport.com, let's see here, bring this thing over like that and like that. If you go knfsupport.com, not only do you get a great question and answer service that I still haven't answered this question about pH meters. Although thanks, somebody answered this. Was it Goofman? I bet it was Goofman. He's always on it. Yeah, the Goof. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Goof. You're awesome. Yeah, I'll have to compliment that. So yeah, and I'll answer this one here maybe today. But point is, if you go to knfsupport.com, not only is this brought to you by Pure KNF Foundation, also if you click here and go to the recipe book, there are some recipe books in stock. So if you wanted a hard copy mailed to you, that is possible. And I have one. I tried to mail it out yesterday. I was unable to make it to the post office while they were open, so it's hard to mail things on the weekend. But I will mail that out Monday. And so there are hard copies in stock, which is kind of rare. I don't often have hard copies in stock because it's a whole lot of work for me to go and print the labels and send them and go. I mean, it's not that much work, but it's like more than I'm usually willing to do. So, but there are right now, I think there's like 20 of them in stock. So, or 19 at this point, because one got purchased yesterday, or excuse me, got purchased, I think it's Friday. I don't know. Anyway, it takes me a while to get all this stuff together, but within a couple days, it is on its way to you. And thanks to the United States Postal Office. So if you are interested in a hard copy of the book, those are in stock right now. And it's, even though this one says it's the 22, you actually getting the January 24 edition. So brand new for this year, getting that. So yeah, that's that, and that's those things. And let's go over here and pull up this here and here. I think this was yesterday. So pull this up on this side and get this to fit on the screen. So do a little bit of farm updates. So farm updates. So, well, I guess I'll leave this right about there. Let's make it, I don't know if you can see. Maybe I'll zoom in here, move this out of the way. And so farm updates right here. If you look right in my front yard, you see that right there. That is a cow. And so this is basically right out that direction, right out front of me. I'm just right outside the office. If you've been here, you know where this is. This is a big Fiti ulu tree here. This is a Ma'afala ulu tree, breadfruit. and this is a jackfruit, a black gold jackfruit. And if you look at this yard, let me make this like that. If you look at this yard right here, you will see it has just been grazed down. So summertime, the grass is growing fast. It is amazing. And so I just grazed all 5 of my Black Angus / Wagyu beef through the yard. You know, they kind of like this short yard grass. They do a great job of kind of vacuuming it up. And today they're going to move out of this little paddock right here. This is right along the driveway. They're going to move this direction over here and go into the other part of the yard, and then eventually keep moving that direction and go down into the valley and eat all the grass that's growing down there, which you probably see as we play this video. So, and then this bamboo over here, this is a great place to set an IMO box. Amazing bamboo, great collections under this tree. Amazing. So small farm update doing that, but let's watch and see. So I did fly the drone. I think now the video's playing here. We'll see. It kind of flies on this same autopilot course that it goes on. So my neighbors over here have finished growing sweet potatoes. Good time to shoot pigs down to about 400 meters. My other neighbor, this is what we call Screaming Cow Ranch over here. This is a cattle aggregation thing. They bring all these cows. It is in full, let me see, can I pause it? Yeah. It's in full operation right now. Screaming Cow Ranch is going. They recently built a house over here. And then right here, this is a multi-million-dollar kava operation that they're starting that I don't know what the status of that is, whether they're doing well or not, I don't know. But we have been, this pasture right here, this is our land right here. The land we take care of, I guess is a better way of saying it. But this, we've been remediating this pasture with IMO and fish recently. So as we start to fly over, you can see where we dropped fish, these kind of patches, and then fish and IMO to keep the smell down. And this pasture, compare this one here and the lushness. This is the result of IMOs plus fish. You can see the nice growingness of it. So we, you know, on a semi-weekly basis, put this over here, we've been working on this, but look at that versus this middle field. This pasture right here, we'll pause right there. This middle field, we have not, I haven't done very much remediation because my neighbor was complaining about the fish. But this water system over here, fully functional, has a water coming over from across the valleys from our houses to the left. From this, yeah. And, but this pasture, you know, it needs a little bit more remediation. This one has elephant grass growing in it. A little bit, but basically overgraze that. And then if you look at this pasture right here, we'll pause it right there. So we started to do a little fish IMOs here, and it started to remediate, but then my neighbor was complaining about the smell because I didn't put enough IMOs on it. And then I don't know if you can see, but just this over here is so weak. The grass is just like, oh man, it's not growing. I haven't done enough IMO over here, enough stuff, and this grass part of the pasture is just like not coming to life. So I moved that herd of 5 cows through. My neighbor looks like he cut these, and he also dug out his dead fruit trees. His fruit trees, he just planted them in this grass and expected them to grow, and he has an excavator, so he just cut them out. So I don't know exactly what he's doing. There's his excavator, nice little mini X. He let my dad borrow that thing. And he's putting in these fence posts. I don't know what he's doing, but maybe he's going to start grazing this. I don't know. But I'm not exactly sure what he's up to. Maybe, yeah, I think maybe he's going to put fence along this and graze cattle into here. Maybe. I don't know. He's also, you got his pool. He's built a whole bunch. You got this whole like thing of stuff. This guy he likes putting stuff. But turning the corner. Oh, and my other neighbors. Let's see. My other neighbors up the hill. I don't know if this is like a farm update for me. Let's go back a frame. Can we? Oh man, it's so hard. Can I go? Oh yeah, I can go with the keyboard. Okay, that's easier. These guys, this is like these guys are some New York billionaires doing some, moving to Hawaii and changing Hawaii, but they're building this barn up here. for them, and they've been working on this for a couple of years now. And they got this barn coming in. So my upper neighbors, they run a bunch of sheep in this area, sheep and cattle, and then they just built this barn. So as we turn the corner, let's see, looking down. So you can see this field here, this I call this the kitchen pasture. Basically, I run electric fence out in these I divide this field into 8 parts, and this part right here I did not graze this time because it was easier to get the cows out of the fence without running them in this quadrant here. But you can see I kind of run the fence, and then they'll eat this down really nice and then come in with the drone and spray it and keep it all nice and growing back really well. And I try and keep a water in the center so that way all these fields can be serviced by this. Eventually I'm going to build a little shed like this one here and put that in, but I just, time is money and money is time, and lacking a little bit of both. So if you want a super chat, amazing, that'd be fun. I was reading this book that says you have to ask for what you want, so but doing that, running the cattle, just ran the cattle through this most recently before I moved them down into the yard. Coming around on this field here, this pasture, this little segment here with this ulu tree here and this Gliricidia and this banana, I have not grazed this recently. I was going to move the cows over to here and graze this, but the grass is growing so fast in summer, I figured I'll move them down there. In this here, my dad's pineapples are firing. This is a combo of burying some fish and putting the IMOs in, and drone spraying them, and man, they are just fire. These avocado trees in the back, we were gonna cut them down, and then I was like, we should probably do an experiment just to bring them back to life. So can you bring back dead avocado trees? And this is an example of when you put a bunch of amendments in a hole, plant a tree, and then expect it to grow well. You really need to amend out and create airspace. And they've been defoliated from a number of different things, but one of the main defoliation things is they're lacking oxygen. Without oxygen, the plant drops its leaves and cannot do it. So, but the other fruit trees here, these 2 lychees just finished fruiting. Got a ton of fruit off those. This tangelo is flowering and fruiting. This orange tree is just kind of in its growth phase right now. This puakenekene is firing flowers. And the mac nut over here is just loaded with mac nuts. And the cinnamon is just, it's full of cinnamon, guys. But I don't know if you can see a juxtaposition between my pastures kind of coming back to life, the amount of grass here, versus my neighbor that lets the cows just graze everywhere. I don't know if my neighbor ever tunes into this or watches it. I don't mean to hate on him too much. It's just interesting to see a juxtaposition of knowing what you're doing versus having no idea what you're doing. And so he's just continually overgrazing this, and as we fly over, maybe you can see the difference of what's happening to his pasture here, where it's just being grazed down, versus our pastures here, which are coming back to life. And I set this tank up actually like a month or 2 ago now at this point, but the idea is to catch water off this roof, to put water into here, and then use this as a JMS/manure tank and take our manure. This is where we milk each day. So the milking station here, and to take this, and basically when it's raining, this will fill up in like a day or 2, and then run 2-inch pipe down to drain into this field and put just more nutrients and microbes and all of those kinds of leaf fertilizers and microorganisms out into this field in a very easy, lazy way, where basically this fills and then I can run it out into this pasture and ease that up. But this is the road here. It's the road I drive up every day to go visit my pigs and chickens over here. But this grass here, our dairy cow here, Julie, doing pretty darn well, I think. I think this grass here is it's just so lush compared to what it was a few years ago. If I juxtaposition that, it's doing really well. So this gate here, this little gate, I don't know if you can you even see it? No, it's off the screen. Can you see it? I don't know. There's a little gate right here. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. This little gate right there. I just had to replace that. That just snapped. The pole snapped. It hangs a gate on it. But just natural farm stuff you got to do. But look, the grass is getting lush and coming back to life. And we're doing a huge, about a 8 to 12 paddocks here. Yes, thank you. Super chats. Woo! Yeah, woo! Thank you. So just, this grass coming back to life. This is a combo of, I've increased the amount. I'm now applying 25 gallons per acre here. So this is just about 1.7 acres, something like that. So it's roughly about 50 gallons that has to go in this area. And then the bananas over here doing fairly well. Somewhat recovering from the bunchy top. It's really interesting. These ones really recovered. Some of these didn't at all. I wasn't taking care of them well enough to really combat the virus. But we also just recently, as a family project, my wife, my dad, and we cleared around the barn. So this barn was getting pretty overgrown, so to say, and or like fallow and rusted and really microbially rich. But we just cleared out a whole bunch around the barn. And now we're planting this plant called Bele, whatever. I don't know. It's the wrinkly leaf tree spinach. And the chickens that are right in this sector right here, they love it. So going to focus more on chickens. My pig, who you can't see here because he now lives in Ka'u. I traded to my friend in Ka'u for nothing. I wanted to give him a pig, help him out. My amazing boar. He's so nice. Papa Lalo. I don't know if you've met him. He's such a wonderful pig. Had a hard time getting rid of him. It took me several months to almost half a year to get rid of him because I loved him so much. It's just hard for me to let go of him, but finally I did, and my friends are happy. I think he's putting protein injections into their pigs, which should help their fertility. You all need protein to get pregnant. And then this right here, if you look right here, this is some elderberry flowering in with the bananas, and this is a deep pit that's now been covered over. It's filled with fence and all just kind of random farm shit that accumulates. If you've ever had a farm, you got a pit of stuff somewhere, and this is ours. But cruising around looking at this, bananas look pretty healthy. I don't know why the drone panned up, but my neighbor just mowing. This is standard what you do. You just mow for no reason because you hate the earth and you're just making it less fertile, right? I don't know. Maybe people like it. Maybe they feel good about mowing things, but I don't know what they're doing. But pan out a little bit. Okay, the drone came back. Maybe it's just missing its signal. Water tank coming out here. I think that's been there a long time. That's been good. I've been trying to keep the roof clean. Really need to, pay someone to power wash this and paint it. So again, those super chats, they're going towards keeping my farm alive. Just saying. And then this sector down here, this part of the banana patch, I've stopped mowing it, and I've basically we moved Julie, the dairy cow, into here. And so we just ran her through this section, and then this section. And she's just been grazing, and this grass in here has been really fertile because we've been just letting it grow. And so she really enjoys that. She mows, keeps all the grass out of the bananas. So extending my dairy paddock besides just this field into this field as well has been super helpful, plus keeping all the grass down. It's just, why mow when you can graze? And rotationally graze and enrich the land and make it all better. It's like, I'm sold on that. It's something I'm going to do for the rest of my life. The jungle out here, not much going on besides fire ants. I have been working down at the river a whole lot on a sustainable energy project. But the bananas, for the most part, been able to keep the bunchy top at bay, if not, stop it from spreading. They're doing well. It's, pasture, I think, I literally haven't been out there to harvest the bananas. I harvest the ones that are near here, but just the fire ants and all that just kills me. The river, nice down there. It's flowing. It's nice. It's summer. It's a little bit down, but consistent. You can see here maybe a little bit better of our pasture, just the richness coming in. All the spots are where we've dropped fish and put microbes heavily over time. My dairy cow doing really well. You know, we just extend that pasture out. You can see it right here. We just basically come off this and put these pie slices out here and extend her so we can get her to the milking barn fairly easily. Got a water system, that drench tank I'm talking about. So if you can see from this angle, that drench tank getting the water off this roof, and then I can run it all out into this field where it's a huge field. I mean, it's big. And so being able to bring the richness and just spread more microbes, more manures, more nutrients out here in a way that, you know, I'm not going to toxify the land by over manuring it, but I'm going to bring it to life by just adding, you know, the right stuff out there. But I just think, you know, in the couple years since basically 2020, 2021, somewhere in there, we really started focusing on rotational grazing and then getting a cow, you know, a dairy cow in 2022. I don't know. I've been doing that for quite some time. It's been great, and it's enough to sustain her. We still supplement her a bit with a bit of alfalfa, but most of the nutrition coming as we improve our pasture, coming off our pasture alone. And then right here, I don't know if you can see our drench tank. This is what I get the water to fill up to then fly the drone from this location right here to fly these fields over here. And then panning across my parents' zone, what they got going. You know, this area kind of abandoned right now, letting it go fallow, but still a lot of pineapples in there. The fruit trees coming down. I hate this palm tree right here. I'm gonna cut this thing down, eat its heart. But the taro, the pineapples, all here. Coconuts really kicking butt. You know, a combination of the fish plus the IMOs out there on them. This ulu tree in full form doing its thing. These bananas right down here recovering from bunchy top doing their thing. You know, flying over to my place. My neighbor just did his, just tilled this whole thing and is going to let it go fallow again for a couple years. Our garage coming over, it's the drone storage area. This area I'm about to graze. So the cows just went here, 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 here. You can see their turds out there if you look carefully. I can zoom in on their turds. Look at those turds. They just crapped all over this yard, which is great because otherwise it's just a yard, but they just ate all this down. You can see them eating this grass versus I'm about to move them right into this today. They're going to go into this yard, this lawn right here. And then after, I'm probably going to leave them there about 3 days. It takes them about 3 days to eat all this down to where it looks like you just mowed it. Besides that, they don't eat everything, but they eat, 99% of it. And then I'm going to move them into this paddock here, take care of all this grass. And then after that, then I'm going to move them into this area here. And then I'll move them down into this area here. And then I will move them into this valley and kind of put a fence through here, up like that and along there, and let them eat out all the grass and everything in there. And just, recycle the nutrients around. But coming around, this is where, when you come to the KNF farm to do training, you get to stay in one of these nice cottages back here. Enjoy the kitchen, kick it on the couches, have a good time. Some sugarcane down here. You could juice some sugarcane at the sugarcane press here. Coming around, but the grass is it's amazing. I've been really focused on the cattle. I still have my permaculture garden here / whatever it is. I'm growing more taro in this region recently. Been wanting to do that. Got some jackfruits, lilicois there. Coming around, looking at that. Nice. These fruit trees, we just got a bunch of lychees off this. This grass, look how tall it is, though. It's ready to be grazed. Move the cow into here. And look at these Inga beans. They are just huge. So nitrogen fixing, what do they call it? Ice cream bean, Inga bean. I need to cut them down and ship them, really, is what it comes down to. They're getting too big. But again, a little bit more elderberry here. That's just firing off. It throws out so many berries and all that. So, yeah. So that's, it's Suriname cherries over here. We're just firing the mulberry tree we got in our front yard. Just tons of mulberries. what else? I don't know. You know. Oh, I'm also gonna. If you see this, this is another 275 gallon tank right here in front of my 10,000 gallon water tank. Gonna set that up to do a little bit of either drone refill / drench fill down. You know, drench flooding down here, all that. But basically, farm's been doing good. You know, sometimes I feel better about it. Sometimes I feel worse about it. You know, trying my best to keep things going, spread microbes, build fertility, build the land back. You know, it's been abused for so long, and just trying to, you know, bring back life. It takes a long time to heal damaged land. It can be faster with Korean natural farming, but you got to have methods that are simple, quick, easy, affordable, that you can put out, you can do, especially when you're doing, you know, large acreage like this. I mean, as if, you know, someone's like, I do 10,000 acres, that ain't big. But I tell you what, you know, for just fairly non-mechanized and what we're doing, and it's kind of a part-time thing. It's not like my full-time deal. I you know, I do a lot of other things. So, yeah, so that's, you know, farm update. That's what we've been doing. You know, just sort of an overview with the drone. And yeah, been doing that. So hopefully that satisfies that craving of seeing what's happening here. Let's see, got some questions here. Thanks for the super chat again. That's just, you know, farming ain't cheap, and I know, you know, doing it and sharing it together and inspiring each other, making it work. Thank you, appreciate it. And Big West transplanted some gold globes. And let's see, 3 days later, one of them is slumped over, sprayed it with calcium and BRV. Everything stood up and prayed. We'll stood up and pray. Yeah, we'll see how it recovers. Yeah, you know, KNF can bring dead crops back to life, things you thought were out of balance. It's so absorbable, it goes in. Hopefully, you know, you can bring them back to life. So, and pounding rain is actually fairly good for crops. Not necessarily tomatoes while they're fruiting, can get over moistured, but you know, as long as you're putting LAB out there, you shouldn't have too many problems. And as long as you're applying reproduction, you know, the calciums to keep it from splitting, you know, you can handle a lot of diverse weather conditions. So, yeah, get those tomatoes out there. Drone sprayer video, cool to see that in action. There is some on the channel. It's hard for me to film while I'm flying. It's not safe. So, but other people have taken some video and they don't share it back with me. So whatever. What's up? We got Mark coming in from Oregon. How you, brethren? Grass is wonderful, but who wants to mow that? Yeah, graze it up. So yeah. Oh yeah. Mark and I moved that water tank over. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, good. So cool. Invisible fence for cows. Have you ever heard of invisible fencing? No. I use electric fencing. I use a 10-mile fence controller, and that's what I do. It's fairly easy. I just stick poles in the ground every 15-20 feet, and I just run the electric line two lines across, and it does everything I need, and it's pretty amazing. And I roll them back up on extension cord things. They're extension cord rollers, which are great, but they age in the sun. They only last about a year, 2 years before I have to replace them. I probably should buy more hardcore stuff from Premier One, only if they would sponsor me though. Got to work on those sponsorships. And anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that. I also, you know, I've been digging around. I don't know. I kind of mentioned it to the members of the Pure KNF Foundation, but I've been digging around here and I found all these interviews here. So, and we got Alika, David Wong, Joe McGinn, James Simpliciano, Hogan, Ginger John, Kiahi, Kim Chang, Mike and Liz, Mike DuPont, Ray, Sam Small, Simon Russell, and the Trump. We got all those folks that I found all these interviews, and you know, This was filmed at the first time we brought Young Song Cho to the Big Island, and I rented out a whole auditorium. I rented out an auditorium that could hold about 10,000 people. If you look at it here, let's see if I can bring, let's see, how should I do this? I'll just bring this window over. So right like that. So I rented out this whole auditorium for people. We could seat like 10,000 people or something, but oh, let's turn the volume off on that. How do I mute this? Oh no, I'm soloing those. I want to mute it. Anyway, let's see. I go to, well, anyway, just, you know, this was the first time we brought them. We had them down on a basketball court. Let's see if we can show it from this side. This clip here. We just had choke plenty people come out. You know, brought Young Song into America thanks to Dr. Park and what we're doing. But look at all those people tuning into his lecture. We got the beautiful Steve Lund right here in the front. Shout out to Steve Lund. What's up, Virgin? We got Uncle David Fortes there. Yeah, some good folks, some really good folks in this crowd. Lou and Karen here. And the YWAM folks in the back, you know. But everybody's sitting on these hard benches trying to learn. Yeah, so anyway, been sharing that footage with members of the Pure KNF Foundation. So if you're not a member, consider it. It's well worth it. Let's see here. If I go back on this thing and go here, you know, Pure KNF Foundation here. If you're not a member, you should be. pureknf.org. Sign up now. It's well worth it. And also, just so you know, I think we're going to drop an email about this, but in terms of the micro documentaries here, there is now John Caverly available. So John talking about his experience from those interviews that I put him up. I got this together for everybody so you can see the wonderful John Caverly talking about how it's brought, you know, so much value to him. So continuing to make micro documentaries for our members, that's something we want to do in addition to our monthly meetings, which is just like so much more information coming from folks, so much more than just me kind of rambling at you, but people that are really in the thick of it, doing it, right, and loving it. And so grateful for our members. It's really, you make it happen. And, you know, all these other documentaries you can watch as well. Cab Baber on his EM stuff. This dude, freaking legend right here. And if you're into growing herb, we got KNF Ganja with Reverend Logan Silsley. You know, just what an epic documentary that was, and what a great time hanging out with him. And Mike DuPont talking about the no-smell pigs, and Moose and Mimi talking about how they completely eliminated the disease in their kava operation orchard. You know, this is just, you know, what could be more inspiring than this stuff? So, yeah, so those, you know, those things coming out for members, doing those things, getting those together. Let's see here. What else do we got? You know, all this. So I may throw together this lecture for you as well. Put this up so you get some madaj, not just from me, but from the man himself, Mr. Vodka. I mean, Young Song Cho. And then also with that was where we were kind of going over the, where is it in the bin? Let's see, let's go up. Also our hands-on that we had, this is how I found all this stuff. I was looking because I knew we had this stuff recorded where we did a whole lot of, hands-on thing of having, you know, Young Song. Let's see, where is it? Oh, there's me. Look at me. I'm up there. I'm talking to folks. Facilitating. Introducing them, making it happen, doing this stuff. But yeah, who else we got? But hands-on, you know, here's, is there a clip of it? There gotta be somewhere. I don't know. Never demonstrate anything is the key, right? Oh, here we go. This is it. Right here. Demonstrating, you know, doing some hands-on stuff, stirring some sulfur, making some soap, having live experiments happening. Oh, there's me again. Is that me? Where's me? Oh, there's me filming it from the back. Yep. As always, hanging out in the back, filming, getting my own perspective, even though we hired some professionals to film from this angle and they did a heck of a lot better job. So anyway, there's me filming. Yeah, iPad. Those were the days. Yeah, before, Anyway, yeah, Big West liked watching the Reverend. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. So anyway, on my farm, all the outside fences are metal because my perimeter is metal, but all my internal fencing is just electric fence. Doesn't make sense to fence your inside with metal. It's just too expensive. Plus, it's easy to throw up the electric and take it down and then graze where you want, set up custom fences, all those things. Yeah, painting your electrical tape for fencing. Oh. Yeah, painting. Yeah, covering plastic with paint probably makes sense to keep it alive and going for sure. So thanks for that. So I don't know if there's any other questions. We're going through the Madaj. We're getting up to that. It might be worth it. Today to go through and watch this interview here. I've never watched this. I don't know what Ray's going to say. Is it going to be cool? I don't know. It might be worth it. Let's see. What should I do? I should pop this out. Oh, let's see. Yeah, let me pop this window out. Can I just pop it out? Come on. There we go. And then we'll see here. We'll transition over this. Maybe we'll just watch one of these and see what he has to say for a little bit. I don't know. How long is this? 16 minutes? That'll take up the rest of our time. We could do that, or we could continue to go over the Madaj recipes here. I was going through this Madaj presentation. We're on slide 25 of learning about Madaj. And basically, this is a quick overview of their book. I think this is the top half, and this is the bottom half of that book. And, learning how he learned from Master Cho and all this. This is what we went over last week. We could do either. Maybe we'll do either. I don't know. Maybe we'll just beat Medicare together. Let's see here. So we were on slide 25. Ask nature about microorganisms. What do you want to get into? Make a vote. Drop a comment, a like, a subscribe. Do your thing, right? Either way, it's a Madaj type of day. We're getting into the Madaj. But Ray has been influential in the whole Madaj movement because it would not be in English without him. At least it would be not very good translation in English without him. He's the main man, and then he got later thrown under the bus for various things. It's a Korean drama. We love it. But yeah, we'll just stick with this. This is what's up. No one's voting live. I don't know. Maybe we're all just watching it through some other way or whatever. But we'll just go through the Madaj. We'll finish this up. Maybe by live request or Ray. Okay, Ray. You want Ray? It's spelled R-E-I, Ray. Watch Ray. Okay. I definitely know watching Ray would be easier for me because I just got to hit play on something versus this. I got to comment and talk some crap. Just take it, bro. Take it. This must be the Korean way to say take it. I used to be able to read Hangul, and I lost that ability because I didn't practice it. Who can read Hangul? Yeah, well, since we got one vote for Ray, that's more than my vote. And talking about this, we'll go through one slide. That way we'll do both. We'll just go to slide 26 because that sounds good to me. So ask nature about the secret of optimal fertility. Yeah, okay. We'll watch Ray. We got 2 votes for Ray. We'll go through one slide here. That way we can say we did both. So ask nature about the secret of optimum fertility. So, submit your emails to nature@earth.com and ask about optimal fertility. All your crop residues should be given back to the soil, right? That's just what happens, right? Tree grows in the forest, it falls in the forest, it feeds the forest, right? Where does the extra energy come from? From the sun, right? Carbon comes in, carbon goes into the soil, feeds the microbes, does the thing. Oh, so you got to go back to the beginning, bro. I did the whole half hour first for you. You got to go back to the beginning. But I'm glad you're here, brethren. Did the whole first half hour for you. So thanks for that request. It was good to see the farm. Did an overview from the sky. Yeah, so that's just what happens, right? So if you ask nature, I think he's just saying copy nature, right? And that's the way it works. Things grow, they fall, they go back to the earth, right? Back to the soils. And they just rot. They ferment, they rot, they putrefy, and it gets recycled, reused. All the great things regurgitated. So add extra nutrients by providing the soil with wild grass and minerals, right? So that's what's happening out there. You can accumulate certain areas by grabbing more nutrients from one area. You can add it to your other area, right? So harvest one area, feed the other area. It's just copying what nature's doing, but making it a bit more concentrated. And wild grass and minerals, right? Bring the seawater back up because it's flown from the earth into the ocean, or from the soil into the ocean, bring it back up. And he says, in nature, leaves fall under the tree. Grass dies where it sprouts. Follow nature. Follow. That must be the Hangul way of saying follow. Follow. Wish I could read the Hangul. I should probably learn that again. At one point I thought, I'm going to learn Korean so I can talk to Master Cho. And then I was like, maybe I'm not. Probably not going to do that. But it would be cool, right? The classic joke, what do you call someone that speaks 3 languages? Trilingual. What do you call someone that speaks 2 languages? Bilingual. What do you call someone that speaks 1 language? American. Okay. Yeah, my own joke. Okay, it's not my own joke. I read that somewhere else. So, America. But follow nature, right? Follow nature. That's what Jadam means. It means hippie nature follower. It's not an acronym as much as people think it is. It just means that you follow people that follow nature. So Jadam, maybe that even says Jadam. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, this makes sense, right? You're just doing what happens out there. So without further ado, and maybe a bit of overtime, let's get to the star of today's show, Mr. Yoon. Mr. Sung-sil Yoon. Sung-sil Yoon. And why not just go full screen? Because you don't need to see me. I don't need to be in here. How do I go to yeah, there we go. This one. We'll transition this over and we'll just go full screen. Why not? Why not? Oh, will it not? Okay, there we go. We'll just make them full screen. And we'll go see what Ray has to say. Okay, ready? Let's go.
Okay. So yeah, you can talk to me. And you can ask me. Yeah, there's so much, but we'll try and keep it straightforward. Not too much detail. One of the things that was said several times in the workshop was that Hawaii is experiencing all of the different problems that are experienced across the entire globe. That makes Hawaii a very important place.
Yes.
If you could speak to that.
Yeah, from the in the limited amount of time we had, and we tried to look into how farming was done in Hawaii and how it had been done in the past, and we found that it had a history of traditional farming, and it also had the history of plantation, and then it's got a few commercial crops, and now there are a lot of seed companies operating here. And all this kind of diverse activity to the development of agriculture, but it also brought in the problems of agriculture as well. By that, which we mean that the practice of conventional chemical agriculture has used too much chemicals on this land, so that the pesticides, herbicides, and the chemical fertilizers that were used have contaminated the soil for a very long time. So we are looking at the question of pollution, and also when we say that Hawaii has got all kinds of, problems that the world is experiencing, is that we are talking about the problem of difficulty and high cost of farming. So it is because the farming method becomes more and more complicated and the cost keeps rising because we have to buy all these fertilizers and pesticides from the market, that fundamentally farming becomes more difficult and the whole agricultural industry would decline. And we thought that all those problems if Hawaiian farmers practice our method, which can teach them how to go low cost and environment friendly, but still have the good yield and high quality, it could help the revival of Hawaiian agriculture.
And so, if what's so different about natural farming from conventional chemical?
The biggest difference would be that it is environmentally friendly. So if you practice natural environment, whereas if you use chemicals, toxins, and poisons to kill the creatures that are living there, or get rid of the grass, or fertilize the land with chemicals, that actually destroys the environment and the soil. And the resulting crop, the harvest you get, also is not as good quality as you would get from an organic agriculture. So I would say environmentally friendliness would is very, very low cost, because we do not promote the buying of farming inputs. We promote the making of the farming inputs by the farmers themselves. So what we do is we go around, teach the farmers how to make their own fertilizers, make their own pesticides.
Yeah, it's reading from my hard drive, which is why the audio's dropping out and the video's stuttering, because it's reading over a network. But that's the reason you
Under
gotta...
the USDA regulations. And when we tell them, when the farmers are able to make the inputs for themselves, what that actually does is it dramatically lowers the cost of farming, because all they need, they do not buy it. All they need, they make it. And they make it from ingredients.
So if you want the full without the audio dropping out, it's naturally happening. But be a Pure KNF member and you'll get this video shortly. So it's good. It's helping me tantalize.
Or just leaf mold from the trees, or just rock dust, or like a human feces or urine or animal manure. Those kind of things are freely available, but are very useful in farming. Some of the chemicals that we do say that you need to buy are the sulfur, caustic soda, and caustic potash, which are...
So yeah, if you want the full without the skips, then you gotta, wait for me to cut it into a video and join Pure KNF.
Use material, they are materials used for making soap. So if you practice our method, you can go ultra low cost. And then the third thing I would like to mention is that it is low cost, it is organic, and it is still effective. It would be useless if you develop a technology that is not workable. If you practice our method on the field, it'll work, and the roots will be very vigorous, and you'll have high yield and high quality. It is very, very easy, very easy. So it is, because it is easy, it is possible to tell the farmers to make those inputs by themselves. If it was difficult, you cannot do that. So we have made a detailed manual on how to make these fertilizers, pesticides, mineral inputs, microorganism inputs by yourself. And we have written a detailed book on it. It's going up on the Amazon as an ebook. And this knowledge, we believe, has a great potential to bring hope to many places that have been collapsed in agriculture. 4 points.
4 points. Very good. Farmers who are already conscious and are practicing organic, many are finding it's just too expensive, too much labor. How does natural farming compare, and what can natural farming do for those farmers?
The big dilemma is that many conventional farmers who are aware of these environmental problems, they want to go back to natural way of farming. They want to go organic, but the problem is, if you do go to organic farming, the problem is that first you have to buy organically certified inputs like fertilizers or organic pesticides, and you have to buy them for use. And in many cases, they are more expensive than the chemical counterparts. Yeah, chemical fertilizers, organic fertilizers are in many cases more expensive. So when they transition to organic farming, they find that the farming cost actually increases, and then they have the hope that they can sell it at a higher price because it's organic. But the problem of marketing is not that easy. And another thing is that the method of practicing organic farming is too difficult. So even if you want to go organic, it is very difficult to do. It's difficult to learn. The theories are confusing. The practice is very difficult. Turning the compost is backbreaking, and it's hard to go large scale. That, and also there's a problem of effectiveness. Even when you start going organic and you stop using chemical fertilizers, then your crops might not grow as well. And then if you're a farmer, you have to make a living, and that is a very hard decision to take. You go organic, you go less yield, and you can even go less quality. That means less money for your family. So those are some of the barriers that actually block farmers, conventional farmers, going organic. And the solution we have is that, for the first one about the issue relating to cost, I think I've explained it fully. Second one about the effectiveness, I also said that our method is very effective. It's been now, and we have about 60,000 members in Korea. The fruits, they're always awarded the provincial best tasting fruit award. So yeah, that's what was the third one I said? You mean
in Korea
in Korea
or elsewhere in the world, in China? And give us a short list of who's embracing this.
the Korean
Catching some mean lag, bruh. Mean lag. It's just right there. You'd think a gigabit connection would be
obstacle.
better.
However, as the number of people grew who practice, could be a really beneficial thing. So now the Ministry of Agriculture, they actually
I like the suspense that this is generating. Maybe it'll encourage us to all join the Pure KNF Foundation and get that.
it is very well received and established in Korea. And Mr. Joe's father, Master Joe, has been traveling all countries that his knowledge has flown into. So it is quite a lot. In many places they are having results, but in many places, some places don't.
Yeah, there you go. Join. You can watch Ginger John today, and hopefully
Do your research. So what we want to do in the future is we want to help people all around the world who want to practice this kind of farming and help them establish.
Yeah, maybe put this Ray one up eventually. We'll see. Got the go ahead, so we will see. It's just a matter of me.
We ultimately even think that this can actually help mitigate the problem of poverty in developing countries.
And so how can people access the information?
KNF office hours, baby. Woo! Yeah.
Everything. So all information we have, we upload it in our website, jadam.kr, jadam.kr. You put en.jadam.kr for English homepage. And also we upload all the
Every Sunday, 9 a.m. Woo! Tune in.
the keyword Jadam organic farming. And then you'll find videos, not so many right now, but we will continue to upload it and you'll be able to see millions and millions of it because not only us, but all the farmers around the world who practice.
Just like you. Upload your videos, tag them.
So our policy is to open everything and then we share everything. This farming, all the findings and the experience that they reach, they will be shared by everybody, including us. So this is a collective knowledge, and because it is collective, it will evolve extremely fast and spread very fast.
But it's up to you.
Well, sometimes it looks kind of bleak.
Of course.
The corporations and
Of course.
the level of chemical dependency. Is there resistance from the chemical companies?
What the world is what the you despair or whether you hope is your choice. The world was never despair or hope. It's your choice. And because of the things that we do, because of the things we promote, such as we want the farmers to make their own fertilizer, their own pesticides, their own minerals, their own wetting agents, surfactants. Everything is made by themselves, which means the companies that want to sell those have experienced a decrease in the profit. And it is never our intention to harm or damage any business people. But what we want is the farmers to benefit, and we would like a coexisting and mutually beneficial relations between farmers and the business.
Good. Perfect. Well said. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else that that we should include?
Okay, just
Fun?
Yeah, Hawaii is a paradise. We stayed here for 2 weeks. We love the paradise, and we really, really want this paradise to be left as a paradise. Yeah, and I learned this from our Hawaiian friends. Imua.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, so there you go. That's Ray talking, Jadam right after the whole what you call. They just gave that workshop and then you could hear people sweeping, cleaning up the area, doing all that stuff after their workshop. And so thanks thanks for tuning in. We got some Madaj in the house. We got at least one slide down plus some Ray, some good interviews. Keep the spirit of Korean natural farming alive. That video was kind of jittery. So if you wanted the whole thing, join just like all one and the same did. Be part of it. pureknf.org. You can join the membership there, and these documentaries will be 1080p with no stuttering because I'll buffer it off my drive here. It's always fun having a slow ass NAS. That should be .com. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Want to appreciate you, especially Stone Mason throwing down some super chats. You can always hit up super thanks in the thing. Boost up my monetary incentive to be here. Loving you guys. Thanks to Pure KNF Foundation. Thanks to Master Joe. None of this would be here without them. And who knows what I would be doing without that. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks this week. I'll see you in July. And we'll be back doing the same thing, continuing on. Oh my gosh, yes. Long live the natural farmer. Love you. Thanks. Peace. Out.